Hello once again, wrestling fans. This is Smart Mark with your FCW report for February 5th, 2012. This episode we got Steven Regal, or William Regal, and Byron Saxton on commentary, and that was a really cool matchup of personalities. I really enjoyed their commentary, so I thought it was worth mentioning. In the opening match, we got Audrey and Kaitlyn versus Raquel, Diaz, and newcomer Sophia Cortez. Pretty nice way, if you're going to open the match with a Divas match, to do so. It was entertaining, and I think it was a good introduction to Sophia Cortez. Raquel Diaz showed some definite character development, and Audrey, Marie, and Kaitlyn get the win. So I think it was a win-win match. Then we get Damien Sandow come out and challenge Richie Steamboat, basically saying, it's not about getting the title, the Jack Briscoe 15 championship back. It's about getting revenge. So they don't really build that back up throughout the show, which I thought was kind of odd, but basically that ends up being the main event for the night. Second match, we get Eli Cottonwood and Corey Graves going up against the tag team champions, Brad Maddox and Briley Pierce. This was a non-title match, and Cottonwood and Graves got the win. Obviously, probably set up now that they got the win in a non-title to propel them in a title match against Maddox and Pierce. So, makes sense the way you do it. It was a pretty good match overall. Eli Cottonwood is a big dude if you haven't seen him. Kind of tall, shaped comparably to like an Undertaker type. Corey Graves remind me a lot of Jeff Hardy. I'm sure a lot of you would agree. Then we get a segment with Abraham Washington and Dr. Bronson, and it was kind of funny. It makes me wonder how far they're going to take these segments. I think the next one will be fairly telling if this is actually going to remain. It just seems like it could be a one-trick pony kind of thing. But then we get Leah Key versus Dean Ambrose versus Seth Rollins. And this was a fucking sweet match. Back and forth, Regal's commentary the whole time, because there's a kind of a feud going on with him and Dean Ambrose. So the two of them are kind of, like Dean Ambrose kind of looks at William Regal from the ring and stuff like that, and does a few of his moves. And then during the whole thing, Regal's commentary just talking about how he likes them so much, but they're foes, and he knows that Dean Ambrose is going to basically be the end of him. And it was just an interesting take. I thought Regal's commentary throughout that match was just awesome and different. There's a point where it looks like Ambrose is going to win, and Leaki does the double Samoan drop. Well, basically picks up both Rollins and Ambrose and does a Samoan drop to both of them. Was a really cool kind of show of his strength, and it looked really good. So then Leaki gets the title shot next week against Leo Kruger, and I kind of like Leaki to win next week. We'll see. It seems like that it's kind of steadily been titles changing hands here recently, so watch for Leaki to get the win next week. We'll see. Then there's this segment with William Regal and I guess guess what was an intern or something. They never really said the lady's name, but he's like showing her the control panel and flirting with her pretty, heavily. And Maxine busts him, and I don't know what that was all about, really. I guess next week maybe we'll get some kind of punishment against Regal or something. I don't know what they're trying to do. Then we get Nick Rogers against the returning Bo Rotundo, and the last about 30 seconds, Bo Rotundo won with the spear. Yeah, I guess he's supposed to look like a Goldberg type badass. Doesn't really have that kind of personality to back that kind of thing up, so I don't know if it was just that Nick Rogers is not supposed to be any more competition than that to him. It did seem like they kind of worked where, because Bo had been out for nearly a year or something with like a lacerated kidney, which they mentioned, and then Nick Rogers went for like a kidney punch or something, and Rotundo just like went nuts, and that's why the match, he basically did like 3 moves and it was over. Lights, spotlight please. I love Damien Sandow. Total fucking mark for this dude. And when his entrance where he just talks his way to the ring, no music, and then he, it always ends his rant on a strong note, like, that is all. So that was pretty fucking sweet. And basically this was a match that felt like it could have lasted a little longer to me to tell the full story, but in the end, Steamboat wins by disqualification. Sandow getting pulled like into the ring, and he grabs a tool from under the ring, some kind of wrench or something, and just blasts Steamboat in the throat with it. I don't know if they were, trying to say he hit him in the head, but I mean, it looked like he blasted him in the throat. And so Steamboat gets the win, but Sandow had basically been promising that he was going to get revenge, and Steamboat would never be the same after this match. So he kind of did get his revenge. Steamboat doesn't suffer a loss, but so this was really good. We got set up next week for heavyweight title match, and obviously the Sandow and Steamboat feud isn't over yet. That would be my best guess anyway. And I think there's a possibility Steamboat can really work well with Sandow, especially behind this. Something like this can give Steamboat something to really draw some sympathy and whatnot, and kind of use this the same way, obviously. I mean, if you aren't thinking about it already, I'm surprised that there's a lot of comparison here between him and Rick Steamboat and Macho Man, who like crushed Ricky Steamboat's larynx before WrestleMania 3 in a match. So kind of seems like history repeating itself there. Anyway, this was a really excellent show, as FCW almost always is. Pretty enjoyable from beginning to end. I really enjoyed Regal and Saxton together on commentary. And it gave Byron Saxton kind of a chance to lay back and not trying to be so much the heel, just being kind of a little less biased in the matches and whatnot. And I enjoy his work a lot. So yeah, this was and easily a B+ show, and really excellent. So thank you guys for listening, and getting ready to do my first review for a show that I just found today called Ring Ka King. This is TNA India, basically. So yeah, if you are a wrestling fanatic, check out that review and find out what's going on in TNA India, aka Ring Ka King. It's a pretty fucking awesome show, guys. So check it out as well. I think you'll enjoy it. Yeah, it's a steady mix of Indian language and English. I don't know. It's really a pretty awesome presentation. So check it out or listen to my review, and we will see you next time.